Hey guys, this is Stu's back at the bench for January, February 2018, the first one of the year. And I hope you all had a great festive season. I didn't have a bad one. I only had Christmas Day off and that was it really. But hey, that's the way it goes. That's the hazards of working in retail, unfortunately, but there you go. However, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day was rather nice, but there you go. Anyway, moving on, basically I want to get on and show you the progress of my build so far. One's nearly finished and two are working in progress. So I'm hoping this video is not going to cut out because I've just tried basically filming twice now and it kept cutting out, so we'll see. If it happens again, then unfortunately you're going to have a bit of a delay in me doing the back on the bench until my new phone is acquired. Anyway, as I was saying, again, is it going to cut out again? Nope, I think we're going to be fine. Right, well, I'll carry on. I was a bit worried then for a minute. Yeah, as I was saying, I just wanted to show you how far I've progressed in my builds, but as you know, I've not been doing a lot of output on videos this week whilst I've been off. Chief reason is that my normal phone is absolutely knackered. Unfortunately, I had a bit of an accident when I went down to McLaren garage the other week because they had a new F1 car they had on show. Because previously they had Senna's MP48 Ford sitting in there. Now they've actually got the 2007 MP422 test car, orange test car of Pedro Della Rosa's, and she is a beauty as well. And whilst I was filming it, I dropped the camera. Next thing I knew was basically that the LCD screen was leaking. And it got, by the end of the day, it's leaked so much I can't see anything on the screen at all now. So I'm without a phone that I can use because basically, obviously I can't see the screen, so I can't operate the phone. I could go and get it repaired, but it's going to cost me more to get it repaired than it would be to get a new handset. So for the time being, what I'm using to film these videos is my old phone. So the quality of the video sound may not be as good. I don't know if the quality of the picture is as good, so you'll have to bear with me until obviously I get the issue with my phone resolved. So please bear with me, guys. Anyway, moving on from that, I just want to show the progress of my first build, which is actually near completion, and that is Revell's, oops, he says, try not to drop it, U96, which you can see here. Let's get the light more on it. There we are. Basically, the weathering has been done, and she's at the stage where she's ready to be matte coated, and then I'll just fit the antenna wires, and she is done. I have to say, it's been a very thoroughly enjoyable little build that I've done. In fact, if I pan in a little bit more, you'll probably be able to see more of the progress. Let's just have a look. Let me do it. That's it. As you can see here, that's a bit better, the light's on it now. You can see the weathering process much clearer. Very, very happy with the way it turned out. And the products I actually used on it, first off, for the wash, was Flory's Deep Dark Work. Sorry, I'm getting a bit tongue-tied. Deep Dirt Dark Wash. I think that's the way I pronounce it right. Just to highlight some of the detail and pop the detail out, and then after that I basically used Tamiya's panel line accent colour, which I know Andy of Hobby Headquarters has been using on most of his builds. So I thought, well, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and see how this turns out. And as you can see on the deck here, it's brought out all the actual panels beautifully. And actually accentuated some of the detail on the conning tower as well. Excuse me. And then for the streaking effects, because obviously being in salt water in the North Atlantic, these vessels used to get heavily battered and weathered. So the first thing I used was basically AK's streaking grime, which is this here, if I can get it to get into focus, enamel colour. Now for the thinner, I use their odorless thinner, which is this one here, and just basically stripped it down and then just brushed it up very delicately. I mean, if you can see it a little bit more on the bow, right here on this section right here, you can see it, and generally on some of the actual plates as well. It's come out very well indeed. And then after that had dried, which I gave it I think around about 24 hours, I then brought in the rust streaks, which you can see along here. And if I move the conning tower, it's a little bit on the conning tower as well. I used AK's Rust Effects. Let me get that out of the way. Rust Effects colours. I've had this set for about 2 years now, and it is a beautiful set. Again, I used AK's thinners. Basically the same motion on the actual deck. Oops, actually, on the actual hull. Just very gently put it down and up and down with a little brush to give it that sort of streaked, weathered look. I'm really impressed with the results, actually, to be honest with you guys. If I move it around, you can get a better look right there. Yeah, smashing little kit, and with the weathering products, it's really brought it up like a shiny penny. And as you can see, it's depicting the U-96 from the film Das Boot. And if anybody's not seen that film, I heartily recommend that you do. It is an awesome film. Just basically gives you the sort of things those poor guys actually went through. Well, not only on their side, but our side as well, to be honest with you. Because there was a hell of a war of attrition with the Battle of the Atlantic, I can tell you. And yeah, as I say, she's nearly done for the final reveal. All I've got to do now, as I say, is just get the matte coat down on her and then add the bracing wires across, the antenna wires across her, and that's it, job done. And for this first sub, I'm very, very happy with it. So there you go. Anyway, moving on from that, we're now going on to my entry into the Hawker Harrier 50th anniversary body build. Now I'm going to pan back for this one and I will point out a few things. Actually, I'll pan back, not pan forward. There we go. Right, here we go, guys. This is the Kinetic Sea Harrier FRS1 in 1/48. I've basically also bought some extras in regard to the cockpit. I basically bought the Eduard cockpit set for the actual Tamiya kit, believe it or not, and put the belts and everything on the seat just to give it that added detail. In fact, if I pan in again a bit more, bear with me. Here we go. You probably get a better look at it. As I say, it is a beautiful set. If I can get the damn camera to focus. Come on, focus your devil. There you go. It's my first sort of attempt at using an X-Brass aftermarket set on a cockpit seat, and it really came up well. I'm really impressed with it, to be honest with you guys. And I must admit, I mean, the level of detail in the cockpit itself, which is supplied in the kit, I don't know if you can see the instrument panel. It's probably because it's a bit in the shadows here. Let's have a look, see if we can get it in. There you go, there's the detail. Look at the detail on that, it's really super. I mean, I've got to get the head-up display on it. That's the final thing I've got to do in this cockpit. Obviously fill around the edges here, paint it and weather it, and then that's the cockpit done. And obviously put the front windscreen on. And then obviously inside, if I can get it in the light, if it's going to show, is it going to show? Hang on, come on. I did film this the other night, it's not going to tell you now. I think you can just, in fact, hang on a minute, I know what I'll use, hang on. I get my geek goggles, try and shine it in there. If you can see, no, it's not going to bloody do it. Oh, you blooming Adam and Eve it. But believe me, you can see the compressor blades in there. It's just the way the light's shining down on the bench at the moment. You can't really see anything. I accentuate them with the panel line wash from Tamiya as well. But they are in there, I can assure you. So you can see it's nothing but darkness. Oh, there you go, just a slight hint. No, it's not going to show it. Sorry, guys. But believe me, they are in there. And basically I did what a lot of people have tipped me to do. Apparently on all the Falkland Warbirds, that all the interior of the intake was painted extra dark sea grey right up to the compressor blades. So that's what I've done. And I'll be depicting this aircraft as Flight Lieutenant Andy Ald's aircraft. Now, he was the head of the actual Sea Harrier fleet during the Falklands campaign. One thing I did want to point out with you, it has got a certain amount of fit issues with this. It's not the easiest of kits to get the fuselage together. I mean, I had a devil of an own job to basically fit the cockpit in and get this to basically sit tight. I've had to do a little bit of filling with some sprue glue here, especially along the back of the engine bay. And by the way, with this kit, unlike the Tamiya kit, there is no engine. Alright, just thought I'd let you know about that. But yeah, there are a few fit issues, especially across the back of the spine here as well. I had a bit of a devil's own job to get it together. Another thing I wanted to point out is the heat shields on the back of the nozzles. Now, in the instruction sheet, they're basically telling you that part H14 goes on to this side and part H3 goes on to that side. They got that wrong because when I tried it, neither side would fit. So I basically put them around the other way and they fitted in like a glove. And I did actually check photo references to see what the angle of these heat shields were at, and it is correct. So if you're building this kit, just be aware of this. I just thought I'd point that out to you guys, okay? But generally, I mean, the kit itself is a beautiful looking little kit, and I'm sure it's going to build into something special. I mean, detail on it is second to none. The only thing you haven't got is an engine, unlike the Tamiya kit. So if you wanted to detail out the engine bay open, I suggest you look online and see if there's any aftermarket engine parts for this. So we will see. But as I say, generally it's beginning to look like the old Shah. I've weighted the nose as well because obviously it could be a tail sitter. So yeah, there you go. I mean, it is a lovely, lovely kit. But as I say, be aware that it's got a few fit issues. Okay. And my entry into the Kursk 75th anniversary group build is obviously Michael Wittmann's early Tiger 1. And this is the progress of it so far. I haven't actually glued the upper deck down, it's just showing you how far I got really. All the back plate is done. They do have some extra brass straps, but unfortunately they were so fiddly and they ended up getting bent. So what I ended up doing was Slater's sprue on the back to make sure it looked at it as it had straps on the back. And that's the only sort of scratch building I've had to do. But generally across the board, this is a nice kit. There are no fit issues. It's going together like a dream. Admittedly, I've got more confident doing Dragon kits now, as this is my 4th Tiger that I've done so far. And I'm debating on whether to leave one of these hatches open this time. So we will see. I've got a set of figures which actually my good friend Rick Connell sent me in the post, which is this one, and he's given me an extra set in there for the SS crew as well. I mean, this is an SS crew as it is, but this is circa when they started putting the camo uniforms on. But you've also got an option of doing the ones in the black uniforms as well. So where you got that set from, I don't know, but I am heartily thankful to you, Rick, so thank you very much. I've got a planned possible little vignette to do this, as though it's just going through the field. I was possibly going to think of getting a staff car to go with it, as though it stopped and they were just going over the plans and the route or whatever. But I think that's just going to complicate things, so I just want to have something to focus on the Tiger itself. Okay, so but as I say, it is a lovely build. It's going forwards fairly sort of without any problems. As I say, this is my fourth Tiger, so I'm getting more and more confident with them now. It's just a case, if you do build a Dragon kit, make sure you do your research, guys, because I'm doing plenty of this, I can tell you. So basically, guys, that's as far as I've got with my build so far. Now, in terms of acquisitions over the last couple of months, I've got a fair few in mind, and basically the first one I want to point out to you is this book here. Actually, if I get the camera mounted somewhere else, if you'll bear with me, I'm going to put it on a stand. Oh, there you are. So you can see things a bit clearer, and I'm going to pan back a bit. Sorry about the hand in the way. There we go. There's basically this book, which I got in. It's Panzer Crew Uniforms. It's written by Roberto de Ramirez, David Hernandez, and Juan Manuel Vergara, and it's published by AK. It's a fantastic book. There's a set here I wouldn't mind getting. Is this one here. I want to get more into doing natural skin tones and that sort of thing. I probably will at some stage. I mean, it just gives you an overview of the insignia, the figures, various figures you can do. This is from a Wittmann set from their Tiger one, and I think they've actually sort of converted the figures or whatever it is here. And this is just showing you the painting process to do, to give it that tonal variation and more sense of a realism, as it were. And it just goes through various figures. This one is partly camo with his trousers, the crew commander, as you can see here. That's the net result at the end. Hang on, sorry. That's the net result at the end. The camera's moved. Whoops. Any trouble with this one? There we go. Okay. And it's moving again. There you go. It's a fantastic book. I'd heartily recommend it because it really gives you some good tips on to get more realism with your figures. So yeah, very, very well sort of done. It's going to be a great source for me because I want to get better with my figures actually, rather than just putting a wash down with them and then that's it, Bob's your uncle done, which is what I normally do. And I am going to get that paint set there at a latter stage. So there you go. The other book I got, which was today, and I snapped it up for an absolute bargain, is this one. It's written by Max Hastings, called Catastrophe, Europe Goes to War 1914. It's about the build-up and the first year of the First World War. And I got it for the pricely sum of £3 in hardback. Bargain. So there you go. Anyway, bit of a Star Wars theme. Actually, I'm going to move the camera over again. Sorry about this. That's better. This one here, which is Bandai's K2SO. Now, I did have this before, but sold it. But I've managed to get it in again because I just like this figure and the character as portrayed in the film. It's a bit like a predecessor to RC3PO, to be honest with you. And it stands quite tall. And now my brother's actually built this one straight from the box. He said he had a few fit issues with it, which does surprise me about Bandai because they're normally very well engineered. However, when I get around to building this, I'm going to paint it and weather it because I've actually got a book which actually gives me the reference for that as well. Next one up is the First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter. I just love the colour scheme. Iconic craft. Hasn't much changed from the original films. As you can see there, you've got the X-Wing at the back there shooting at him. And ironically, I've actually got that one as well, which is the Resistance X-Wing from The Force Awakens. And there's much more prominence of this in the last film, to be honest with you. Awesome looking craft. Still has the original sort of shape of the original, except for the redesign of the engines. But I do like it, and the detail on it is exquisite. Now this one, I noticed on Flory Models, young Lindsay has been doing a build series on this, and I saw it and I thought, well, I've got to get one because I already got one from the Revell AT-AST, and this is the AT-AT from Bandai. You've got movable limbs on everything. The detail in it is absolutely exquisite. Does sound quite tall. It's the same scale as the Millennium Falcon they do in 1/144th. And I'm really looking forward to building this at some stage. Now, unusually for me, I'm not into any cars, but I noticed Kenny at Mindless Mod Works was doing a review on a Ford Starline, and it sort of inspired me to have a go. It's something outside my box, so I got one of 3 American muscle cars. This is the first one, which is Revell's Ford Torino from 1976, a la Starsky and Hutch. I mean, I love this car. I used to watch the TV series when I was a kid, and as you can see, you've got Huggy Bear there coming around the corner. This is Starsky and Hutch showing deep in conversation at the back of the car, and I just love this iconic stripe. Now, I did see a fellow modeller who's actually built one of these, and it did look awesome. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to get one, so there you go. That was the first one. And then the next one is equally an iconic car. It's the 65 Ford Mustang Fastback. And this denotes the version that was actually used in the film Bullet, driven by Steve McQueen. I don't know if anybody can remember that chase sequence, and it was absolutely awesome. And as you can see, you've got the streets of San Francisco at the back here. So I've got that one, and I've also got its stablemate alongside it, which is the Dodge 68 Charger RT. Now, again, in the film it's all black, so I'm going to possibly do it the same as that. Now, I know Chris Cortell from Classic Plastic 101 actually built it and did it as the car featured in the film. That's what's inspired me to get this one as well, so I might have a go at that as well at some stage, and that will possibly be my first car. So we'll see. Now, the next item on the agenda is a very iconic aircraft from our recent naval past, and Airfix just recently released it. I hope it's going to be the first of a series of the Air Group off the Ark Royal, the old R09 flat top from the 70s. And if anybody's heard of the series Sailor, check it out. This is, of course, the 1/72nd McDonnell Douglas Phantom FG1. Now, I saw Phil Flory actually recently did an inbox review on this, and he's actually built one. It does look a nice kit. He said there is a few issues. I couldn't see any in this kit, so whether he unluckily got a bad one, I don't know. But I hope they're going to retool the Buccaneer in this scale as well, and possibly bring out the Gannet, the Sea King, and obviously the Wessex, which was used as the SAR flight on the actual carrier. So I hope they do. And I actually saw a guy on one of the Airfix magazines who's actually done a diorama of it on the waste catapult, which he scratch built, and he's actually got the scale plans and everything in it. So I think I'm going to have a crack at doing it with that, with the leg extended, waiting to be lifted off the catapult. So there you go. And this is one, I actually got one from my brother, because he sometimes buys and sells videos on eBay. It's a version of the 109 I've been after for a long time. It's actually the very last variant of the 109. It is Academy's BF109 K4, and I just love this colour scheme with the red nose on the front there. And as you can see, he's just down this one yak in the background, because it was actually used during the Eastern Front campaign. Again, a very iconic looking fighter, and as I say, this was the very last variant of the 109 in service during the Second World War. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to building that. And then I've got a set of figures in not so long ago, because I'm possibly going to do an North Africa Dio at some stage, is this set here, which is the Mini Art British Soldiers Tank Riders section. Again, up to Mini Art's usual fantastic standard. lovely sculpt on the figures, and it just basically would add to a subject. I do happen to have a Matilda in my stash, so whether I'm going to have it on that or not, I don't know. We'll see. And two of a very well iconic fighter, which is the old Spit. The first one was this one, because I actually saw it advertised on Veteranos kits for about £11.99 and decided to snap one up. It's of course the Spitfire Mark 9C beer delivery, because they actually used to send these over to the boys in Normandy with the beer kegs in them. Great way of delivering beer. I wouldn't mind that. You've actually got one of two versions in this, both obviously with the D-Day stripes on it, and obviously you got the beer things underneath. It does look an exquisite looking kit. The detail on the firewall in the engine bay and the engine itself looks beautiful, and it's got beautifully defined recessed panel lines on it, and there's not 1 ounce of flash. And the only thing I've heard is their decals aren't very good. So I may see if I can source some aftermarket ones for this particular version. Yeah, as I say, you can do one of the two versions. One is a Polish aircraft of 303 Squadron, and another one from a Royal Canadian Air Force unit, which was based at Tangmere. All the same, I'm really looking forward to buying this kit. And finally, not long received this one. It's another Spitfire. It's Eduard's weekend edition of the Spitfire Mark 16 bubble top. You can do one of two aircraft, which was used in the Cooper's Cup Air Race in 1949. One camo version and one Silverbird. I think I'm going to actually opt for the Silverbird, because they're actually telling you to do different sort of variations in silver and aluminium on this one. So it would make a very interesting subject indeed, and I've had a quick look at it, and it is a lovely looking kit. I don't think it would take too long to build either. So basically guys, that's it for this month. Yeah, like I say, I'm probably going to get the sub finished very, very soon. I'll probably do a final review in the next few weeks. Get that one done and put on the shelf, and then it's just battling on with updates on the Hawker Harrier 50th anniversary buddy build and the Kirk's 75th anniversary group build as well. As I say, you may not see so many videos after today, because come Thursday I'm back at work, so it's trying to fit my modelling around that again. But I have to say, all the time I've had off on the bench whilst I've been off has been lovely, and hopefully long may it continue. Anyway, that's it for now guys, so until the next time, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.